Hi, everybody. Good evening. It is a Thursday, the 25th of May, and Apostate Alex here, coming live from London. Where is my SPTV logo? There it is. How is everybody doing? Hello to everyone in the chat. I hope you can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if my mic is all right, if my volume's okay. Or if I need to turn it up or down or whatever, please let me know. Terry Ray, I keep thinking it's Friday. Wishful thinking, I guess. Yeah, it does kind of feel like a Friday, especially in London. Really, really nice weather at the moment. I've got a really squeaky chair, sorry. Yeah, it basically feels like summer here in London at the moment. Hello, everybody. Hi, Jennifer, new subscriber from Minnesota. Thank you for joining and thank you for subscribing. Welcome aboard. So, hi, Irma. How are you doing? Hi, Lolo from California. There's a good chunk of you in the comments, which is nice. So for those of you who perhaps are new to my channel, I thought I'd give you a little bit of an introduction to myself. So my name is Alex, and I'm an apostate. I used to be the director of public book sales at the Church of Scientology in London. I left. I actually got kicked out. I got kicked out twice. So I got kicked out, I rejoined, I got kicked out again, and went about my life, my everyday business, and kind of drifted away from Scientology. And then several years later realized it was still affecting me. And so at that point, I started doing some work on it and spoke to some other former members. And now I share my experiences here on YouTube and give other people a platform to do the same. I interview people, I talk to them about what it was like in Scientology, and that's where we're at. So I started on YouTube in February, only about 12 weeks ago, and the big news is yesterday on my live stream with Aaron Smith 11 from Growing Up in Scientology, I hit 5,000 subscribers, which is an amazing milestone. And it's crazy to think that I have managed to get that in only 3 months. So thank you, everybody, for making that happen and for joining and supporting the channel. I think it's amazing. So to give you a little of an update, we've actually surpassed the 5,000 subscriber mark. If I share my screen, this is my live count. I actually have 5,864 subscribers. To give you guys an idea of what that means, let's look at my lifetime growth. So the number changes as per the view. So the first number you saw was the accurate one. So here, this is where I started my channel in February. And we went up to 1,000 subscribers, and it's been continually growing since. And then if you look at the last, let's look at the last 28 days, it's been steadily growing. And you can see last night after my live stream with Aaron Smith 11, it jumped almost 1,000 subscribers. So thank you, everybody, for your support. It's just incredible to see the channel growing in such a way. So yeah, thank you. For those of you who don't know, I set a challenge. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I wanted to do my part to raise awareness that mental health is a real thing. In Scientology, you are not really supposed to talk about mental health. It's considered not real. It's considered an aberration. Anything that is wrong with you is due to your reactive mind. It's due to you being PTS, a potential trouble source, which means you're connected to a suppressive person. And mental health isn't really talked about. So mental health is a real thing, and it affects every single one of us. And so in order to raise awareness, I decided to raise some money for the Aftermath Foundation, because the more people reached by my videos and reached by everyone else on SPTV, the better. Because people watch these videos who are currently in Scientology, and people watch these videos who have left Scientology but not ready to speak out, or maybe still recovering. And so the more people these videos reach, the better, because you never know who you're gonna meet and who you're going to help. I was watching videos for many, many months before I decided to reach out to anybody. And then it was sometime after that that I then decided to start speaking out and sharing my story. So there are lots of people that is true for, right? So lots of people will be watching these videos silently, and the more stories we can share, the better. So that's why I had a challenge for May. I pledged to donate $100 to the Aftermath Foundation if I hit 5,000 subscribers this month, which I have done thanks to you guys. Last night on the 24th of May, so a week before the end of the month, we hit 5,000 subs. So I have, in fact, donated $100 to the Aftermath Foundation. And as by way of proof, I uploaded a screenshot earlier. I will show you here as well, just to prove. That is the screenshot of my thank you page from PayPal for donating $100 to the Aftermath Foundation. So that money will go towards people who are trying to leave Scientology, people who are trying to escape. The Aftermath Foundation is not a mental health charity. They don't help with therapy or anything like that. But what they do is help you leave. If you're in the C organization, you're a staff member, even if you're a public Scientologist and you need help, you want to get out, you need to escape, the Aftermath Foundation will help you get flights home. They will reunite with your family. They will help you get an education, get a GED in the US if you haven't had any education. They'll help you write a resume and find work experience. They'll help you on a down payment for a car. They'll get accommodation for you, whatever it is you need, so that you land on your feet when you leave the C organization, when you leave Scientology. So that's what the Aftermath Foundation do, and I pledge to donate to help with that cause. The thing that has surprised me the most is that a bunch of you guys, and I totally didn't expect this, a bunch of you guys agreed to match that donation. So in total, I actually lost count yesterday, but in total, over $2,000 has been raised to help to go towards the Aftermath Foundation. So enough of you guys have agreed to match my donation of $100, making it $2,000 raised for the Aftermath Foundation if I hit 5,000 subscribers, which I now have done. So I just think that's incredible. It's amazing. Thank you, guys. I invite you to share your experience or share your donation. Like if you pledged to donate $100 and you wanted to match my donation, please do share that. Once you've done it, send me a screenshot or send Goldie an email. What we're trying to do is collate screenshots, or even if you just say I've done it, that's fine. If it's too late and you didn't grab a screenshot, please send it to us. Send it to Goldie or send it to me, and we're going to put it all together, and I'm going to try and make a thank you video for all of you guys, and then hopefully we can actually tally up and get the actual final total amount raised, because it hit $2,000 and kind of lost count because there were so many of you. So it would be interesting to see the final amount. So thank you guys for your generosity, and thank you for helping me reach my goal. The next goal is 10,000 subscribers, which I know is quite a bit away. We're almost at 6,000 now. 10,000 is the next big milestone. So I don't have a date in mind for that yet. We're going to see how the channel continues to grow. But as we get closer, I will start to come up with a little game that we can play, and we will raise further money for the Aftermath Foundation. Seeing as we have a week left in May and we've already finished that game, yes, Goldie, thank you for sharing my email address. I should have said that. hello@apostatealex.com is my email address, and Goldie is theonegoldie@aol.com. Email us your screenshots or a note just saying you've done it, and we'll tally it up. Terry Ray, honestly, I'd rather 100% of my money go to the Aftermath Foundation than give a super chat where a large chunk goes to YouTube. Yes, 100%. So 2 things to note. Firstly, super chat does really help us as creators. YouTube take a 30% cut of any super chat money that we get. We as creators only get 70% of that money. And also, it takes ages, right? This is one thing I've learned. The YouTube thing works on a 30-day basis. So any super chat money that I get in May will be tallied up until the end of May. And then at 30th of May, 31st of May, something like that, it then it gets processed and tallied up, and then it gets sent to your AdSense account within a week or two. We as creators don't get that money. I wouldn't get that money until likely the middle or end of June. So it does really help. They do take a cut. But super chats do not go to the Aftermath Foundation on my channel, on Mark and Claire Heddy's channel, Blowing for Good, on Aaron Smith-Levin's channel, Growing Up in Scientology, unless they specifically say they're going to do that. That money goes to the creator to help support the channel. So if you want to donate to the Aftermath Foundation, the best way of doing that is go to theaftermathfoundation.org. There is a link in the description of every single one of my videos, and there's a donate button there. You can donate through PayPal. If you don't have a PayPal account, you can just click pay with card. They are set up with a charity account on PayPal, so I believe they take zero or very, very little in the way of commission or percentage or whatever as a charity on PayPal. So that's the way to donate to the Aftermath Foundation if you do want to do that. So, as I was saying, because I need to trim my moustache. It's getting a bit long. Sorry. Because we have a week left in May and we've hit the goal, I want to introduce another game. It's only a short game, so we only have a week left, but I thought let's keep up the hype and keep up the good news and the good work. So I want to continue the support of the Aftermath Foundation, and I want to continue the growth of the channel. So what do you think we should do, guys? Please put some ideas in the live chat of a game that we can play for the next week. Maybe it's something along the lines of channel memberships. You can pay to be a member of my channel. You get a PTS badge in the chat. You get emojis with Dave Miscavige and Aaron Hubbard. It helps me as a creator. You get early access to interviews and things like this. You can buy me a coffee. We could play something around there, like for every coffee I get, I donate a certain amount to the foundation, something along those lines, or maybe it's another subscriber goal. What do you think we should do? Please put it in the comments what you think we should play as a game. In the meantime, I wanted to give a shout out. For those of you who know Marilyn Honig, she is a regular in everyone's chats and everyone's live streams. She crochets the bobblehead outfits for Mike Grinder, and she sent me, finally, I've received it, my 2 outfits for my Mike Grinder bobblehead. So this is my Mike Grinder bobblehead in his little Xenu outfit. There he is. So I wanted to say thank you to Marilyn for doing that. She also sent a Duke of Chug outfit, which is hilarious. So I will be switching him out every now and then. So that is where he can stay. Marilyn actually sent me the 2 outfits for myself and also for Kellycopter, who's another London-based YouTuber. So I have her outfits here too for her Mike Grinder bobblehead, and we are going to meet up soon so I can give them to her. So yeah, it's just a shout out to Marilyn Honig for that. So thank you very much. Hello, everybody in the chat. I'm just looking at these. Congrats on the 5,000 subs. Close to 6,000. High five. Yes, Cindy. Thank you so much. And Harter, 2 levels of members. Yeah, perhaps we could do a 2nd level of membership. That's a good idea. And Harter is one of my channel members, so thank you for that. Michelle Carpenter. Hi, Alex and friends. Hi, Michelle. From a poet, shave your head. I would, if only I wasn't already going bald. I'm trying to have fun and enjoy the hair that I have while I have it. I am slowly going there. You can see my hair is thinning. I do have a bald patch. So while I've got hair, I'm going to enjoy it. And when it gets a bit ridiculous and it does start looking stupid, I will shave it all off. So that would be a great idea if I had tons of hair, but I'm worried if I shave it off, it won't come back. And I'm not quite ready for that. Sandy, sent you an email, Alex, of my record of payment. Thanks for letting me help too. Love your channel and you. Thank you, Sandy. I really do appreciate that. That is really, really nice of you. And thank you for coming along. Goldie, I'm driving now, so we'll mostly be listening. No problem, Goldie. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. From a poet, you need some Jedi robes. Yes, that's the next one. That's another outfit that Marilyn does for the bobbleheads. So if you want to go and get your bobbleheads, you can contact Marilyn on Facebook. There's a group called Coffee, Cults and Crochet, I believe it's called. You can join the Facebook group and Marilyn will make you an outfit. Sub to Kellycopter, 100%. Go and support her. Kelly is awesome. Cindy again. Such a good charity. Thanks, Alex, and everyone else that was able to donate. Your big hearts are showing. Yeah, I appreciate that. I think, look, we've all got to help each other out as much as we can, and we're a community, right? One of the things I've loved most is getting to know people like Vanessa and Alicia from Degraded Daughters of Dianetics. I interviewed them the other day. It was the first interview they ever did since starting their channel. They are really lovely people. Vanessa and I have been talking a lot since doing it. We're going to hopefully get some more stuff together soon. And it is just really nice to be supporting each other outside of Scientology. I have spoken earlier today. I don't know if you guys saw my interview with Shalise from Cults to Consciousness, a former Mormon. I did an interview on her channel. She did an interview on my channel, and they both performed really, really well. So we have agreed to get together and do a second interview on my channel, which we will be doing next week. And we haven't decided whether we're going to do it live or pre-recorded. So let me know in the comments in the live chat. Should we do a live interview with Shalise? Do you guys have questions you want to ask her? If not, we'll do it recorded. I'll edit it and make it a nice little video. But that is something to look forward to at least. Also next week, I'll be speaking to Chris Shelton, who is another SEAL member, former Scientologist. And we're going to be talking about the whole context of cult apologists and whether you should attack Scientology and the difference between exposing it and sharing experiences and so on, and the approach to the different approaches you can take to talking about Scientology when you have left. Lane, what are membership prices per month? I know, like, and subscribe if free. So a channel member, I can't remember how much I put it at. I think it's like $5 or $8 or something a month. And it's not, you don't get exclusive content because I don't want to separate people and give people content that you can't get for free. Like, I'm not about that. So being a member is more little perks you can get, like the emojis and the PTS badge. And if I record an interview, I'll release it to members early. You get priority access before it goes live to everybody else. You get priority replies in the comments and things like that. So it's just little perks, just as a little thank you. And the best way to support financially, if you want to support me, is to buy me a coffee. There's a link in the description down below. Or as I said, if you want to do a monthly thing, you can become a channel member, which Anhata has done. So thank you for that. What do apostate annex fans call themselves? My vote is cheeky monkeys. That is a really, really good question. I know there are people out there with different names, like the hedgehogs or the edgehogs on Andrew Gold's channel, the cracker lickers on Blown for Good. Be interesting to know what you guys think. I'm just gonna do a little modding there in the chat. Terry Ray, silly me, I forgot to hit that like button. Problem solved. Thank you. Yes, please hit the like button and comment. I like that. So I was going to do something. This is what I was going to do. Talk through some documents that I found. I don't know if you guys saw my live stream with Aaron Smith-Levin yesterday, Growing Up in Scientology. But we talked a lot about my time in London and statistics and all that sort of thing, which was really interesting. And I thought I'd go through some of these things with you in a bit more depth, just to give you some exposure of what it's actually like to be a Scientology staff member. So in Scientology, there's, in the meantime, by the way, please chuck your questions in the chat and I will try and answer them as we go or save them till the end. I'll star them. So yeah, very much a discussion this live stream. So there's lots of certificates when you do stuff in Scientology. Scientology is all about rewarding people and saying great job when you've done something good. And so I thought I'd show you what some of these sorts of things look like. Michelle, Alex, I'm sorry, I'm sure you said so many times, but what OT level, excuse me, did you get up to? I didn't reach the OT levels. The OT levels, only about 5% of Scientologists reach them. When you're on staff, there is very little time to go up the bridge. Aaron Smith-Levin, for example, didn't make it clear. I believe he did his Purif, which is the first step on the bridge, and I believe he did his TRs and objectives, or the survival rundown, as it's called now. I believe that's about as far as he got. It's a very common thing for staff members to not go up the bridge because you are spending your time disseminating and getting other people into Scientology. Or if you're working in another division like Aaron was, he was in tech, I believe, he's delivering Scientology services. The goal is not to get yourself up the bridge. You get servicing for free as a staff member. It's meant to be a return for your time as a volunteer. But the reality is you don't really have the time to do it. There's also, sorry, heard noise. There's also the priority aspect. If you're a paying public, if you pay money to get services, you'd be a bit annoyed if you say, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do your auditing today because there's no auditors available because this auditor is actually auditing a staff member. So priority goes to paying public. So yeah, that's a really long-winded way of explaining that staff members don't really make much progress. But I've got some of the certificates from some of the things I did do. Michelle, I didn't realize most Scientologists wasn't even OT. No, yeah, Michelle, only about 5% of Scientologists reach the OT levels. It costs a lot of money to become OT. There's a lot of the bridge before you get to operating Thetan. There's lots of stuff to do before you reach there. OT is at the high levels of Scientology that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars in the end to get there. And not many people get there. So when you hear about the Xenu story, you got to remember most Scientologists don't believe the Xenu story because they haven't got to that level. So it is very much something Scientologists believe, but most Scientologists haven't read that yet. So there's a thing called extension courses in Scientology. When you have a Scientology book, like Dianetics or Problems of Work or whatever it is, you can do a course on it, and you can do it in the org, or you can do it by extension course, which means doing it from home. And basically, you read a chapter of the book and then you answer questions about it. And the idea is the questions are kind of like a mini exam. It's only like 1 or 2 questions that just prove that you've read and understood that chapter of the book. So these are called basics extension courses. The basic books in Scientology are the kind of the books that Oren Hubbard wrote to start it all off. And this is the sort of certificate you get. So this is the certificate that I got for completing my Dianetics book course. And you can see it's on nice shiny card. I did my extension courses with Flag over in the States. And it says the Golden Age of Knowledge Basics Extension Course. The Church of Scientology Qualifications Division, Department of Validity, does hereby certify Alex Barnes has satisfactorily attained and completed the requirements necessary and is awarded the Certificate of Dianetics and Modern Science and Mental Health, attested by the Director of Validity and the Keeper of the Seals and Signatures. Has a certificate number. You get the same thing, Fundamentals of Thought, which is another book course, a book that you can read. And you can see they're based on the cover of the book. So Fundamentals of Thought, the book has a blue thing with a tree on it, and Dianetics has the volcano. You also get these things called commendations. So when I finished my Dianetics book course, Flag also sent a commendation, just as a little extra well done. So it says commendation. Alex Barnes is hereby commended for completing the study of Dianetics and Modern Science and Mental Health extension course. You are following the path to knowing how to know, unlocking the gates to your future eternity. And it has a quote from Aaron Hubbard that says, these materials contain the full basics of the only game in the universe where everyone wins, the game of triumphant life itself. L. Ron Hubbard. And then it says, in the best true 90s noughties word art fashion, keep on going. Look at that, guys. Do you remember word art in Word? They actually have that on a commendation from FLAG, which is the headquarters of Scientology in Florida. You also get a letter, which is another commendation for the same thing. Dear Alex, you have satisfactorily completed all requirements of your course. Well done. It was our pleasure to service you through your course, and we look forward to getting you started on the next one right away. Your certificate is enclosed. Please send us any successes that you'd like to share with us regarding the course you have completed. And this is printed on nice fancy parchment paper from FLAG. Certificates in London also existed. They look a little bit different. I'm just looking at some of the chats here. I do have some questions that you guys have asked starred that I'll be answering shortly. I just want to get through these things first. Mark Turi, I got commendations and they meant absolutely nothing. That's true. They're meant to inspire you and get you working harder and think, I'm doing a great job. It's like a pat on the back almost. But yeah, ultimately they don't mean anything, do they? So in London, the certificates look slightly different. All of the courses that you do result in a certificate, and most of them look like this until you get onto like the major bridge work stuff where the certificates look a bit more grand and big and so on. But this is what the certificates in London looked like. So it's got the London logo of Scientology at the top there, and it says Church of Scientology Qualifications Division, Department of Certificates and Awards, does hereby certify that Alex Barnes has satisfactorily attained and completed the requirements necessary and is awarded the certificate, Personal Values and Integrity Course Graduate. PV&I, it's a course I did, Life Improvement, and it's attested by the Director of Certificates and Awards, Keeper of Seals and Signatures, issued at the Church of Scientology London. Now, one thing I do want to dissect is something that is kind of a little bit of a giveaway here. Every certificate in Scientology has a certificate number, right? I don't know if these ones do. Yeah, so my one's from FLAG, like one of the numbers 121274446, right? Now, the certificate numbers in London are much smaller and they're handwritten, right? And if you look at the London certificates that I've got, the numbers do seem to correlate with the number of certificates issued, right? So my suspicion is that the certificate number is literally the number, like, you know, how many certificates the church has issued, like total, right? They issue Joe Blow a certificate 100, and then the next person to get a certificate will be 101. So I'm going to check this, but I think it's an interesting thing. If that is the case, my certificate number here for this particular course is 5,288. And that would indicate, now I don't know when the certificate numbers started, whether it was when London Org first became a thing or whether it went ideal in 2006, whether that's when they started keeping numbers, but 5,288 is my number on this certificate. So if that is since 2006, this certificate was 2013, so that's 7 years. If they've only issued 5,288 certificates in 6 years, that doesn't signify to me thousands of people being cleared, as they say that they are doing. So 5,288 divided by 7 years, that's 755 certificates a year. Divide that by 365 days, means on average, the Church of Scientology are issuing 2 certificates a day. That, to me, is interesting and hilarious. If they're only issuing 2 certificates a day, that doesn't indicate to me that they are expanding in the fastest growing religion in the world. So yeah, that's that. let's put those down there. Hi, Juliana. Almost 6K. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're at 5,866 subscribers, which is pretty cool. Sally Mac, total for that course or total for all courses together? It will be, I think, total for all courses together. There's no way they would have delivered that particular course 5,288 times, especially as other certificates I've got from the org are around the same number, even though it's a different course. I think it's the number of certificates issued, full stop. Right. Let's get through some of these questions. Anthony Spurgeon, are you aware of Xenu, a Marvel Comics character, or Xenu, a Marvel Comics character that is sent to the prison planet Earth, who is an alien with mind powers? The comic came out well before 83 was written. I have seen that before. I'm going to admit I'm not an expert in it, but I am aware that there was a sci-fi cartoon character around the same time L. Ron Hubbard was writing the OT3 Xenu story, and it is interesting to say the least that there is a similarity there. Lane, do we know what states and countries Scientology is in? I know there are churches here that I don't understand about with children as missionaries. I know there are churches here that I don't understand about with children as missionaries. I'm not sure I quite understand that question, but what states and countries Scientology is in is something that you can find out. They are in most countries. Whether or not they're particularly large is a different question, right? Scientology is definitely bigger in the US than anywhere else in the world. They have churches all over the world, like Ecuador and so on. But in reality, they're tiny little organizations or someone's living room. Malta actually was one of my missions when I was director of public book sales. One of my territories that I looked after book sales in was Malta. And Malta was a mission, and in reality, it was someone's living room. The address was listed on the Scientology website as a mission, and I used to speak to the mission holder every week to get the stats of how many books they sold. And literally, it was her living room, and she said that it's open every Wednesday for 2 hours in the afternoon. And that was an official mission, but it was just her living room, and just a group of friends that got together and went out book selling. Terry Ray, I have trouble grasping that Scientologists who are out in the real world don't see how Scientology isn't growing and the world isn't clearing. That's a really, really good point and a really good question. The thing is, in Scientology, if you're a public or a staff member, it's not as controlled as the Sea Org. So it's not like you can't look on social media and can't look on the internet. It's heavily discouraged, and you definitely don't look up Scientology stuff on the internet when you're in those positions. But you steer away from it, and you don't. I can only speak from my experience. In my experience, you don't put two and two together in your brain, right? When I got these commendations, for example, saying you've entered a new realm of book sales, you've got the highest book sales in London for 2 years of over 200 books, you're thinking this is amazing, this is growth, right? We are expanding. And that links up to everything you're seeing in international events in Scientology, where they say Scientology is growing and expanding. So you just think, great, we're part of this mission. There's never a point in your head where you're thinking, how come there are only 20 people in the course room? If that doesn't indicate that we're making thousands of people clear every single day. My whole time on staff, I was never aware of a single person that went clear at London Org. I know people have gone clear since I left, but there was never a time that we made it clear, right? But you just don't think about it in your head, because what you're thinking about is how you're progressing Scientology. You're out there doing it and you're working hard, and you never take a minute to stop and think, hold on, do these numbers actually add up? You see videos at the international events of like people going out book selling in different countries and how we're getting certificates from different governments. And, you know, Dave Miscavige is talking about how we're eradicating drugs in whatever country or whatever thing. And you think this is great. And you kind of think they're doing great work in that country. We're just not doing it here. We need to work harder. And there's also an element of, in my mind at least, it didn't really matter. For me, it didn't matter whether or not it was 100% true that we were making millions of people Scientologists or we're clearing the planet or whatever, because in my mind, it came down to like encouraging people, right? The goal is to encourage people, to get people on a mission, to do the job, to get it done, and kind of spurring each other on, like, let's go, come on, we've got this, we're doing a great thing. You didn't want to talk about negative stuff. You didn't want to go, oh God, you know, we haven't made it clear in 3 years, because you're focused on the goal, you're focused on the mission, you're focused on getting books sold, and you're just looking at every little positive you can and thinking, this is great, we've done this, let's do better next week. You never really stop to think and reflect, because it kind of doesn't matter if Scientology isn't growing as much as they say it is. It doesn't matter, because we're trying, we're doing our best. That was my mindset, at least, when I was in Scientology. I hope that answers your question. Lady Pamela, and they tell them not to read negative stuff, etc., right, Alex? Or they would have to confess it to it, etc. Yes. You're very much encouraged not to read negative things about Scientology, and if you do, it will come up in a sec check or an ethics interview. It's called Black PR. From a poet, Scientology where cognitive dissonance is a way of life. That's exactly it. That's 100% cognitive dissonance. So I've got another couple of documents I want to talk you through that I think you guys might find interesting. I will be doing separate videos on them and uploading screenshots and so on so that you can see. But the first one is something that I shared yesterday on stream, which is the commendation that says, I think I read it out on Aaron's stream. It says, these people are highly commended for their hard work. And I think it just reveals exactly the real numbers behind Scientology in London. At the beginning of the year, we were averaging 20 to 30 raw book sales, and now we are pretty much over the 50 mark. For those of you who don't know, a raw book sale means selling a book to someone who's a raw public, someone who hasn't been in Scientology, they've not bought anything before, someone new. That was my statistic. So we were selling 20 to 30 books a week, and now we're selling 50. You never think in your mind, 50 books a week is nothing. Like, you know, an average book shop will sell more books than that. You don't really think about it in that way, but you do look at it and go, this is great. I've more than doubled book sales. That means I'm good at my job. And then it says, well done, keep it up. Let's get to our next target, 100 a week. So you're just focusing on the goals and the next step. This is another commendation that I received. This one is from the CPLO UK, which is a SEAL position from management. And it is, so I'll screenshot this and upload it at some point. But it's to Ethics London Day. It's from COCPLO UK on 16th of August 2013. And it says CC ethics file. So this is going to go into the ethics file of everybody who this is sent to. And it was sent to the PES London. That's the Public Executive Secretary, the person in charge of Division 6, A, B, and C, which are the public-facing divisions of the org. PCS London Day, Public Contact Secretary, person in charge of Div 6A, which is about book sales and so on. Director Public Book Sales London Day, that was me, Director of Public Book Sales, and a couple of other people and anyone involved in the book sales. And it says, this is to commend Charlie, who is my boss, Charlie Wackley. This is to commend Charlie and all the staff that helped on producing an affluence, the highest MBS raw for over 2 years, on the 15th of August for the bookathon. Getting books into the hands of the public is really vital to create expansion and changes in this society. Very well done. To create a new civilization, it takes volumes of books being sold. And then it has an LRH quote books are the first line of dissemination, and that's where it has the graph that I shared yesterday of book sales. And I think it's just very telling, right? I came on board and managed to achieve the highest book sales the Church of Scientology had got in 2 years. I was good at my job. I was selling books. I was getting people in Scientology. That's how committed I was. Okay, let's have a little look at the chat. Love Sherlock. Darn, just now saw Alex's live. Welcome. Hi, I am indeed live. Pat Shaw, nice to see a lot of my SPTV peeps here showing support. Yes, welcome. Welcome aboard to all of you new subscribers as well. Thank you for joining. Just a little update for those of you who missed it. We hit our 5,000 subscriber mark. We are almost at 6,000 subscribers. I have donated $100 to the Aftermath Foundation. And I asked you guys to come up with a little game we can play. Please put in the comments right now in the live chat, what game can we play to continue this growth between now and the end of May? Could we do something like every coffee I get, I match as a donation to the Aftermath Foundation? Or, if we hit 6,000 subscribers, I'll donate an extra amount of money, or, something like that. What can we do? What are your thoughts so we can continue this growth for the rest of Mental Health Awareness Month? Let me know what you think. Weird Debbie M. Congratulations, Alex. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Colonel Brock as well. Thank you. Rose K. Hi, Alex. Enjoying UK SPTV? Yes, indeed. We are here. Linda, merch giveaway. That's a good idea. We could do that. In fact, why not do it now? Should we do a merch giveaway? I'm totally up for doing a merch giveaway. Let me know in the comments right now. Do you want me to do a merch giveaway? If I donate, like if I pay for someone to get a bobblehead or a book or something from Mark and Claire Headley, what do you think? Colonel Brock, win a date with Alex. I am single. What can I say? What can I say? Give me 2 seconds. It is summer and I'm allergic to pollen and I have very bad hay fever. So excuse me. Okay, you guys are saying yes in the chat to a merch giveaway. Okay, let's do this. I haven't spoken to Claire or Mark Headley about this, but we will make it happen. I'm sure it'll be fine. So let's do this, all right? You guys are going to need to light up the comments here, right? I am going to give a random person in the comments a book or a bobblehead from Mark and Claire Headley's Blown for Good store. I will pick someone at random. So if you want a book or a bobblehead, stick something, doesn't matter what, in the comments right now, and I will pick someone in 5, 4, 3, 2. Light up that chat, guys. Put something in the chat and I will pick someone random. 2, 1, and 0. Michelle Carpenter, you have won either a book or a bobblehead. Congratulations. Michelle, please email me hello@apostatealex.com and we will arrange getting that sent to you. Michelle Carpenter. I'm just writing this down. Book or bobblehead. Yeah, please do tell me whether you want a book or whether you want a bobblehead, and I will speak to Claire and Mark, and I will pay for one to be sent to you as soon as possible. So congratulations, Michelle. And yay, we did our first giveaway. That's awesome. Okay, so a couple of other things I wanted to show with you guys while I'm here on stream. Oh, actually, on the topic of that, A very kind viewer who has remained anonymous. I was reached out by Claire Headley the other day to say an anonymous viewer has donated a book to me. And so the other day in the post, I received my copy of Blown for Good by Mark Headley, which is signed, which is very, very cool. So I just wanted to say thank you to whoever it is that donated this book. I can't wait to get my teeth stuck into it. So thank you. It's on my shelf. And it is the next book that I shall be reading. Okie dokie. Jennifer, so happy for you on gaining more subscribers, Alex. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. DPD. I found out a few weeks ago that there was a Scientology building in Edinburgh. Yes, there is a Scientology building in Edinburgh. It is an org. I will be doing a video on it soon. Linda, again, so proud of you, Alex, and how much you've blossomed with this channel. Thank you so much, Linda. That's really nice of you. I really do find like I feel like I'm finding my feet on YouTube, and I'm starting to figure out what I'm doing. So this is something called a battle plan. In Scientology, they like to think that they're kind of militaristic, and the Sea Org is kind of like the Navy, because at the end of the day, Scientology is on an important mission to save the world. And so everything is done as if it's an army trying to conquer a big conquest or something. So we used to write what's called a BP, a battle plan. Sherlock, thank you for your super chat, $9.99. Here's a little for your next giveaway, Gail. Well, thank you for that. I really, really am so surprised at how generous everyone is in this community. Thank you for your super chat. That is awesome. Ask a question next time. You've got enough characters in the super chat. Whatever you want to ask me, I'm here for it. But thank you. So we used to write what's called a weekly BP, a weekly battle plan. Every Thursday at 2, you submit your stats and you have a staff meeting at the end of the day where you look at how well you did for the week and so on. And then you come up with a battle plan. Okay, how are we going to tackle this week coming? You always have to be upstat in Scientology. There are different conditions for statistics. There's normal, there's affluence, and then there's power. So normal is when your stats are kind of about the same each week, and then affluence is when they're going up, and then power is when they've gone up and found like a new level. So the graph would kind of go along, up, and then they're kind of now at this level. That's called power. And there's also conditions, like danger, emergency, so on, for when they go down. And L. Ron Hubbard policy dictates what you're supposed to do in each situation based on how your statistics are showing in the week. So you have to meet the goal is to sell more books than you did the week before. You want to be in affluence. You want to be selling more books every single week. Pat Shaw, thank you for your super chat. Have you been fair gamed since you left COS? No, I have not been fair gamed since leaving the Church of Scientology. I have not had anything going on at all. In the UK, they're a little bit more, I don't want to say relaxed, but I do want to say cautious, because Bonnie Woods actually won a case here, a harassment case against the Church of Scientology in the UK. They had to apologize and pay her some money because they lost the case. So I think because of that, they are a little bit more cautious of the outwardly clear and obtrusive and obstructive investigations and so on that they do. So that's not to say they don't fair game people here, but I think they're a bit more cautious about it. It also takes a while for them to catch up. I only recently was blocked by Charlie Wackley, who was my best friend in Scientology, and had him on as a friend on Facebook until only the other day when he blocked me, which means it's taken 2 months since the beginning of my channel in February to just the other day for them to realize and tell them to not be connected to me anymore. Number 5 and letter A. Does the Aftermath Foundation help Scientologists who want to leave Scientology in the UK as well? Is there a non-USA phone number or some local way to contact? That is a very, very, very good question. The Aftermath Foundation will help anyone in the world, wherever you are, leave Scientology. It doesn't matter if you're in the UK or not. They will help you. They'll get you a flight to wherever you need to go. And that's a given. They do not have a non-US phone number. The number you need to call is a US number. I have spoken to Claire Headley about this. I actually looked up the idea of call forwarding. It is possible to buy a UK phone number that just forwards the call to a US number. I proposed that we do that for the Aftermath Foundation because if you want to make a phone call to a US number here in the UK, the call charges are phenomenal. Like 20 cents a minute or something, if not more. And it's just not viable to have any sort of phone call with a US number, especially if you're trying to call when you're under the radar, you don't have much money, you've got a hold of a phone somehow, it doesn't have much credit because it's pay as you go or whatever. So I proposed and I offered to pay. I offered to cover the cost of a UK call forwarding number. And I believe she has pitched this to the board and I'm waiting to hear back about whether it's possible to do that. So I have offered to set up a UK number that forwards the calls. So hopefully we can get that set up very soon. But in the meantime, you'd have to call the US number, but they will absolutely help you wherever you are in the world. Gosh, love Sherlock. Thank you. Here's another bit for your next giveaway. Is that okay? Again, congrats. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat and thank you for your support. It does really, really help. The good Capu super sticker. Thank you. Thank you for the super sticker. You guys are blowing me away. I just can't believe we raised $2,000 for the Aftermath Foundation. Like, to me, it's insane. I never thought we'd be able to do that. Anyway, on with the topic. Battle plans. Right. So you do a weekly battle plan, and then you have a longer term BP, right? So this is the longer term BP battle plan for selling books. So this was dated September 2013. This is when I was director of public book sales. Juliana, especially if Goldie can get Apostate Alex's attention, she has a book to give away. Am I missing something? Someone has a book to give away. What am I missing? This is the most generous community anywhere. Yes, that is very true. Dang, SPTV is a busy this evening. Yes, it is. $2,000 the Aftermath Foundation heading to 6,000 subscribers. That is where we're at exactly. I don't know what I've missed, but yeah, tell me. Goldie does. Yeah, tell me about this book giveaway thing because we can always do another one. Longer term battle plan. So this was me as director of public book sales looking up, okay, how are we going to sell more books over the next couple of months? And this is separated, and this is the start of the social media campaign that led to Charlie Wackley doing YouTube videos. You guys, a lot of you at least, will be familiar with Charlie Wackley and the videos he did to promote Scientology London. Ken's channel, Alex, I promised last night $100. Here you go. Awesome. Thanks for donating. That's awesome, Ken. Thank you so much. If you have donated $100 as a result of this campaign, please send a screenshot or an email to hello@apostatealex.com or send it to Goldie. She'll put her email address in the chat as well. We're going to try and collate everyone's matched donations to try and figure out the total number that we have raised. It should be over $2,000, but please send an email as well so we can keep a track of it all. From a poet, Goldie has a copy of A Billion Years she wants to give someone in the chat. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. 100%. Let's do that. We'll do that shortly. So stay tuned. We will do that towards the end to keep you guys in the video and in the chat for a little bit. So stay tuned. If you want to win a Mike Rinder book from Goldie, stay tuned. Shark Cap, you now have more subs than all UK subs times two. Yeah, so this is something to realize. I have 5,871 subscribers, apparently, according to this page I'm looking at. That is more subscribers than there are Scientologists in the United Kingdom. The last census, which was 2021, I believe, indicated 1,800 or 2,800 Scientologists. So I have more subscribers than there are Scientologists in the UK. Just saying, guys. So, longer term battle plan. So, Charlie Wackley was someone who went on social media. He did lots of videos to promote Scientology. This all stemmed from a plan I came up with him because I was new to Scientology and I was like, dude, we need to use social media to raise awareness of Dianetics, sell more books. Why aren't we doing it? And it was very clear that if we asked for permission, it would be denied because OSA like to have a control over that, and it should be done all over in the US by international management. So we were like, well, look, how do we get around it? And it was agreed that we're just going to do it and then ask for forgiveness afterwards. Because once we do it, if we start making money from it, we start selling books, then it's a successful book selling action, and therefore we can justify it. And it would be a suppressive act for anyone to step in and say to stop doing it. So the idea was start using social media and start selling books and make sure it bloody works, because if it doesn't, we'll be in trouble. So this is the battle plan we came up with of how we're going to do that. Now, after I left, Charlie carried on with this and then started doing it in his own right and became a bit of an influencer in the Scientology world. And you guys know who he is as a result of that. So this was the battle plan. Number one, reviews. So the thing we wanted to do was start changing the narrative and changing people's opinions of Scientology. If you looked on Amazon at the time, it was filled with loads of really negative reviews about Scientology and Dianetics being a cult. So the first thing I said was, A, get staff to write a paragraph or more on Dianetics about their personal wins and how good it is, and if they'd recommend it. Collect all the paragraphs and then get FSMs to do the same. So FSMs are field staff members. Those are public paying members of Scientology who are doing courses, and they want to help out by selling books and stuff like that on their own accord, and they get a commission off doing it. So they're not contracted staff members, but they, are trying to promote Scientology. So get them to do the same. See if it's possible to upload someone else's reviews. If not, get staff and FSMs to submit them on Amazon on their own accord and staggered to make it look like it's not a campaign. Target 5 reviews by Thursday at 2 p.m. So the idea here is we wanted to get everyone to write these paragraphs and upload them to Amazon. And if we couldn't upload it for them, we'll have to get them to do it each week. And the idea is just flood Amazon with all these positive reviews of the book. Step 2, social media. Collect success stories and other content for social media. Keep taking photos of production for the 2 pages. See Charlie to get Facebook likes and Twitter follows as a Substack. So we wanted, part of the thing with social media is we wanted to make sure we didn't cross too many lines about what we can and can't do and should and shouldn't do. So we thought, what's a fail safe, right? Well, firstly, success stories, and secondly, quotes from LRH. And thirdly, photos of us going out and doing stuff. So we wanted to get loads of pictures of us going selling books, and we wanted to put them on social media and promote it as a PR, as a marketing tool. And I wanted to approach getting Facebook likes and Twitter followers as one of my stats alongside books sold. That didn't end up happening, but we tried. Book sales, sell 100 books a week. Confirm field staff members for Wednesday evening. Massive booth, please. So we used to set up stress test booths on the street, usually at Edgware Road, to sell books. So it's called a booth. It's just a table with Dianetics on it and these e-meters, and we would do stress tests and sell the book. FSM drilling. Call in top-selling FSMs for reward giving, cert giving, and drilling on sales. So there was a whole way that we would sell books. It's what's called a patter, the stress test patter, and field staff members who are the volunteers, the public Scientologists that want to help out, would come in for drilling. And what that means is learning the script, learning the patter, and practicing and getting people to buddy up and like having a bit of a training session, having fun and getting them pumped and excited and ready to sell books and like, yeah, this is amazing. Yeah, Scientology, let's go. So that's what drilling was like. And we used to get them into the org and be like, yeah, come on, let's do it. And we wanted to encourage them. And we had a little game of like, if you personally can sell 20 books this week, we'll give you a chocolate bar or whatever it is. So it was all about trying to incentivize people. Love Sherlock. I wonder if selling books in it has. I wonder if selling books in it has helped Alex in the real world getting a job. No, it hasn't. I work in marketing in the real world, and I actually steer away from sales because I was really good at selling books, and I know I probably would be quite good in a sales job. However, I don't like what it did to me when I was selling books. It's quite easy as a Scientologist to manipulate someone. Like, it's actually part of the policy to invade someone's privacy in order to sell them the book. And I was very good at that. I was very good at getting someone to buy the book, however that was necessary. And I really don't like looking back on that and the sort of person that it made me. And because of that, I kind of steered away from sales. Not because I think I would do it now, but it just kind of put me off the idea of selling stuff because to me it just seemed a bit like, someone who doesn't necessarily want the book. I'm convincing them to buy the book and then use it. I didn't like it, so I prefer to do marketing stuff in the background, branding and campaigns and all that sort of stuff. Beachcomber, smashing the like button is literally the least we could do for Prostate Alex. Thank you, Pete in Toronto. I agree. Smash that like button, light up the comments, and YouTube will push this out to more people. Love Sherlock. I get it, Alex. Yes, manipulation. Yeah, it's emotional manipulation is exactly how we would sell the book. So getting back to this, book sales, cool. Event, go through lists. I'm just reading these names. I'm not sure I'm going to read publicly. 2 people who worked in the org had lists of field staff members, people they know had sold books previously and were good at doing so. So it said go through and like figure out where they're at. Have they sold books recently? Have they not been in touch with the org? Call and email them all to get out of non-E. Non-E means non-existence, which is one of the formulas in Scientology, and it basically means promote to them and get them back into the org and get them back selling books. Number 5 and letter A. Thank you for your super chat. Ever go out for fun while in Scientology? Hit like button. Yes. Thank you. Did we ever go out for fun? Yes, absolutely. We did. We were quite a tight-knit young team in Scientology, London, and we used to go out for meals together when we did well as an org in the birthday game, and we hit our targets and so on. We would go out as a group, and yeah, we'd go out for meals and we'd go out for drinks and so on. We'd also have events in the org that we'd have fun at, and selling books itself was actually quite fun. We would go out every Wednesday after in the evening during rush hour, and we would sell books until 10 o'clock at night. It was quite fun. We hung out, we enjoyed it, we met lots of interesting new people. Excuse me, that's my hay fever. Okay, carrying on. Events. So go through all of these people. Find terminal for St. Hill Hall hiring. Oh yeah, that was it. So I wanted to. Oh God, I completely forgot about this. I wanted to do like a huge event, right, to promote Scientology London book selling to public Scientologists. So I wanted to go to St. Hill and hire out the big hall and hold this big FSM field staff member drilling day where we can get everyone pumped and train them on how to sell books. So this was the plan. Yeah, I was going to go find a terminal. That's a person at St. Hill for hall hiring, get a calendar of events at London and St. Hill and pick a date. Call or email field staff members to confirm them for the event. With a number of confirms, work out what we'll need: budget, films, photos, PowerPoint, patters, books, meters, food, drinks, etc. Find accommodation for myself for the event, get a board up, event attendees, date and location, next out, book selling. So yeah, I want to put on a big event and encourage people to come out. It didn't happen, but that was quite fun. And then there's a whole example of post-event. What do we do after the event? How do we get them? One of them is get them to sign a pledge to come out once a week or whatever fits their schedule. So we wanted people to commit to coming out book selling so that we can hold them responsible and accountable if they don't come out. Give them regular intensive drilling after graduation on Friday and make sure they are really winning. Make sure rewards are given. And then there's a personal section. Read the inside flaps of the beginning books packages, get through staff status 2, carry on science and survival, drill and Chinese school CCSP version 2, getting com with Judith and Epi. Yeah, so that was all like the personal stuff I had to do on my own personal progress in Scientology. Book outlets, organize Malta trip with Haley. I wanted to go to Malta and drill the people who are based at the mission there and get them out book selling. So I was going to go there. And this is just a plan of how we were going to do that. Get in touch with someone regarding helping Happy. Happy is the Scottish Edinburgh org. So there's a whole battle plan here of how I was going to get in touch with the Edinburgh org and we were going to go do something together to sell books, which I'm going to do a video on soon. So that, and there's more stuff on here, but it starts to get a bit boring. But this is a sort of example of a battle plan. And just to give you an idea of what it's like being a Scientologist, these battle plans are done for anything and everything you could possibly imagine, right? This is another document, which is a personal document that any field staff member or public Scientologist that wants to go out and sell books has to do. This is called Who and How to Bosh, right? We used to say, let's bosh them a book. That means go sell them a book. And what I had to do is write up a list of every single person that I knew, friends, family, you know, my mum, my dad, different friends, people I knew. This particular thing is 3 pages long. And essentially, it's a battle plan for each person that I know and how I'm going to get them into Scientology, how I'm going to sell them a book. For example, this one person, it says, step A, get him to admit he is in effect, which means he is not winning at life and he's being effect rather than being cause. Step B, handle money situation, because he was in a bit of financial difficulty at the time. Step C, show him stats on so I was working for a magazine at one point, and I was going to show him the statistics of how the magazine increased and did well after I joined, and I was going to tell him that was because of Scientology. Step D, get him really reaching for Scientology, handle any black PR, and then book sale. So this list goes through every single person that I knew at the time and how to sell them a book. And I just wanted to show that as an example of the sort of thing we would do in London org, and the extent it goes into how are we going to progress Scientology, how are we going to introduce more people. We got everyone to write lists of everybody they know and how we're going to get them in, and focus on that goal. So that's the end of my documents, guys. Alrighty, I've been on for over an hour now. This is insane, so thank you. I'm going to whip through some of these super chats, and then at the end we're going to do this book giveaway from Goldie, so stay tuned. Let's look at some of these. Jane in Scotland, Alex, meet up in Edinburgh. We can all go org peaking. That would be great. I love Scotland. My grandfather was from Scotland. Edinburgh has a very special place in my heart, and I'm totally up for doing that. If you want, if you're in Scotland and you want to do a meetup in Edinburgh, drop me an email, hello@apostatealex.com. Also, anyone in London, if you want to do some sort of meetup or gathering, trip to the pub or whatever it may be, email me, hello@apostatealex.com. If enough of you want to do it, we can make it happen. Let's get together. Let's have a bit of fun. Lane. So they did testing before you could buy a book. So the stress test is how we sold the book. So you would sit on at a stool, a little booth with an e-meter, and it's called a stress test. And you would show them how the E-meter reads according to what you're thinking about. And you say, think of a time or think of something that's stressing you out or something you don't like about yourself or whatever. You get a read, and then you use that to sell the book. So there's a whole video I did on it on my channel. So you go and check that out if you haven't already. The stress test and how we sold books. D-Rex question: are there still a lot of the St. Hill Scientology adult kids still on staff in London, traveling up from East Grinstead every day? Great question. The majority of people who were on staff when I was there were second or third generation Scientologists that lived in East Grinstead and traveled up every day. The majority of them are still on staff to this very day. And some of them travel up from East Grinstead, but my understanding is the majority of them now live in London. When I was there on staff, everyone was in their late teens, early 20s. So, of course, they lived at home in East Grinstead. And now they are all in their 30s. Some of them have got married. They all have their own houses and flats and so on. So the majority of them now live in London, but they are from East Grinstead, yes. And Colonel Brock, question: were you allowed to also sell other books like dictionaries, atlases, and the like? I mean, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't have an issue with me doing that as a job outside of the org, selling books. But no, the only books we would sell would be any Scientology book. We would sell Dianetics, Fundamentals of Thought, Problems of Work, like whatever it is from that basics book package is what we would sell. Dianetics being the main one. But no, we wouldn't sell dictionaries or atlases or anything like that. Okay, guys, let's start wrapping this up. So before we go, Goldie announced earlier that she is going to fund this. I will, if you do another giveaway during the stream, I have a copy of A Billion Years to donate. So, guys, you heard it. Goldie is going to give Mike Rinder's book away, A Billion Years. If you want to win a copy of A Billion Years, put a comment in the chat right now. I'm going to pick someone at random, and we will send a copy of Mike Rinder's book, A Billion Years, to you, courtesy of Goldie. So if you want a copy, put something in the comments right now. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be anything. I will just randomly select you. I will choose someone in a few seconds. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Forrest Fay. Me. Forrest Fay. You have just won a copy of Mike Rinder's book, A Billion Years, thanks to Goldie. So congratulations. Forrest Fay. Billion Years from Goldie. Forrest Fay, please email me hello@apostatealex.com and tell me that you won the Billion Years book, and I will arrange getting that to you. So well done, congratulations, and thank you, everybody. So before we wrap up here, I just wanted to say another huge thank you to everybody. I hit my 5,000 subscriber mark for the month of May, and we've raised over $2,000 for the Aftermath Foundation. If you donated $100 as a match to my pledge, please email me hello@apostatealex.com. Mrs. J's here. Hey, Mrs. J, that's my email address. Email me telling me that you've donated $100, and we'll keep a track of who, how much we raised, which is awesome. Before we go, I am going to introduce another game. We're at 5,800 subscribers right now. So if we hit 6,000 subscribers, so that's 150. Actually, no, let's make it. What's realistic in a week? Yeah, okay, let's say this. If we hit 6,000 subscribers, right, which is 125 more by the end of May, I will donate. I'm just trying to think what's realistic. What is it? 25th of May. Okay, let's make it this way. Okay, sorry, I'm still thinking this through in my head. If we hit 6,500 subscribers, 6.5K, 6,500 subscribers, If we hit 6,500 subscribers by the end of May, which is in the next week, I will double my donation. I'll make it $200. I've already donated one. I will donate another $100 to the Aftermath Foundation if we hit 6,500 subscribers. So guys, thank you so much for all of your support. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that. Let's hopefully reach that goal and raise some more money for the Aftermath Foundation. In the meantime, please keep an eye on my channel for the videos I'm uploading. I've got some great stuff coming in the coming week. Ash from the That's So Fucked Up podcast is awesome. We're doing a weekly segment every Wednesday. So go and check that out as well. And that's it from me. Thank you so much to everyone who joined, and I'll see you guys very soon. I hope you have a good rest of the evening.